Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
I wanted to be a celebrity by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
I'm only here for a 2B. I don't really care about any other place.
Can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
Hi, my name is Bassam. My gamer tag is Bear, and this is Wannabe. What I want to be when I grow up, many things. I guess to really just wanted to bring joy to people. I didn't really have an occupation. One of my favorite things made people laugh, so I was always a class clown. Kind of wanted to do something that was like that. I wasn't really looking to be a comedian, but you know, I found that video games and playing and streaming, making content, competing, made myself laugh and made others laugh. So I thought it was a good way of kind of an outlet, a creative outlet. I grew up in the Middle East. My parents were expats after the Gulf War. Stayed there for over 20 years before I moved back to the United States. The Middle East was very interesting because my parents worked in Saudi Arabia. I was there for almost 20 years. It was very hard to make friends in video game aspects. One of my favorite things was the arcades. So a lot of times I actually would meet my friends at arcades. We did tournament. I hosted tournaments sometimes, and a lot of it was fighting games. So fighting games was my first inward of making friends. I'm not good at them, but it's the way I made friends with a lot of people. But my favorite genre of game is racing. It was hard to get people to all race with me because I would just continually meet them. So it was just like, well, sorry. Whereas fighting games, it felt a little bit more balanced. First game I vividly remember playing with other people and friends and my brothers and my neighbors was Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. I'm old, you know, in terms of gaming. I'm 34, which is basically an AARP member for video gamers. It's like, you know, making content in your 30s and competing in your 30s against people that are teenage 20s is tough. You know, that like, I ain't gonna lie, like it's definitely an age gap, especially when like I'm in like podium finish with like other racers, other people, and like everybody, like the other three combined are my age. It's just like, all right, I'm still at it. You know, like if I make finals, I'm happy. You know, it's not about being the absolute best racer in the world for me. It's about like performing my best and just having a good time. First job in the gaming industry, paid or unpaid? So my first experience was volunteering for tournaments and fighting games. I love watching fighting games. I love being involved in the community, playing them when I can, but volunteering for like large-scale tournaments, specifically EVO here in town in Las Vegas, the largest fighting game tournament in the world. I got experience, I got involved, I met people, I met some new friends. I'm just working for EVO now. I've been working for EVO since 2016 as a tournament director and a staff member. That's something that I do when it comes around time. But after that, I was able to actually work full-time in the gaming industry for a tournament platform that got bought out by Microsoft. So I got lucky there, but you know, when I first started getting into the gaming industry, I definitely wasn't my full-time gig at all. No, you have to put yourself out there. Yeah, you really have to put yourself out there. There is a bit of chance of like, you know, what you can do, but in reality, when it comes to like the gaming sphere, like content and playing, competing and all that, you just gotta set realistic goals. You know, you can't have outlandish goals. You gotta figure out how many hours you have in a day for you as an individual, and then what do you really want to output from that. My family pretty encouraging. I mean, they bought most of my systems when I was a little kid, you know, but I usually put money, I bought my own stuff. But I had two older brothers, so they were really into gaming. They were my first real like competitors with them. My first rivalries were against them. The only game that we could all play all together was Mario Kart, which was our first racing game. Mario Kart 64 was like our first one we actually played all together, and it was super fun because like the first time we can actually, you know, get in the game and compete. You know, it's not a 1v1 aspect, so it was like a very fun thing. But my parents never really saw it as a bad thing. They saw it as a good outlet.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another React video. It's Bear. Hey, everybody in Twitch chat. Wave 6 DLC.
I got into streaming. I was actually very scared to get into streaming for a long time. I was aware of it since like 2010, but when it first was a thing with Just TV and all that, when I was in college. And for years, I was just terrified. And then there was people in my life that like dissuaded me from it, saying, don't bother with it. But I really always wanted to try it out. And finally, I had the courage in 2018 to be like, all right, I'm gonna buy my own setup. You know, at that time I was almost dirty. You know, I was like, who the hell wants to watch someone in their 30s playing video games? And I thought, because most of the streamers I know, they're in their 20s or they're really young and they have a different personality. Well, for me, I just wanted to do my own thing, had fun, have good moments, and I just started, just going live and making some friends and and just having a good time. Then luckily more people just came by and were like, wow, this is great, it's fun. I'm glad that they like what I produce, which is, for me, I don't always go for like winning moments or like things that make the best racer in the world. I just go for most entertaining things, because for me, like, adults statistically don't laugh and like as much as children. That's just statistics. But for me, I feel like when I'm streaming, I actually be able to laugh more, and it's been nice to feel like you're a little bit more alive. I think streaming definitely had a big impact when I'm today, mostly because I'm more confident in myself, not just in like life, but at work. I'm more confident in the way I speak, more confident in providing a value to everyday life. The most important thing I would probably say is remember to stay active. I feel like a lot of people that grind games or grind content, they forget themselves. I feel like it's super important to be healthy, maintain your activity levels, your in-game skills or your whatever rank or all that stuff doesn't mean anything if you're not a healthy person. It's super important to keep your health in mind.